Hey guys, what's up? Caleb Downing here, and today we're gonna try not to break stuff. We always break things, but that's okay. We're gonna look at a couple different PCCs, and not just the PCCs. We've already looked at this, right? These are what we're specifically looking at are the, wow, if I can get my stuff discombobulated properly, the Maxim Defense bearing delayed versus the KynShot buffer that probably will not just want to pop out of here because we're doing this thing. There we go. The KynShot buffer, this little fella right there. Not your traditional buffer tubes. Neither one's a traditional buffer tube, but not the traditional buffer for a 9mm PCC. Not the traditional buffer for anything really. These are either a bearing delayed, which is what the Maxim Defense is, or the KynShot, which is like a hydraulic buffer. So both of these are non-traditional. Both of these are supposed to reduce felt recoil. We're going to see how they work. So let's get into it. Maxim Defense versus KynShot. All right, so again, for those that don't know, the Maxim Defense, we've had this thing out for a little bit, and it's supposed to reduce your felt recoil. The way that it goes about doing it is it has not rollers, but bearings, little ball bearings in its buffer. It's like a captured buffer system. Actually, I could probably, why explain it to you in words when I can show it to you? There, this guy right here. That didn't take long. This guy right here, this is the Maxim Defense, right? So this is a captured spring. That's what they call captured because it's captured, right? And up here on the front, it comes back a smidge. Ooh, that came apart real easy. Comes back a smidge. I don't think you're supposed to twist it. Did I break it? Told you I'm going to break something. Anyway, I'm going to try to really not break this thing because I feel like it's about ready to fall apart, and I know it can fall apart. This has bearings in it. If I can get it pulled back enough without making them drop out. There you go. There you go. All right. See those ball bearings in there? Right. Those ball bearings have to be overcome for this system to work right. Whenever you charge the weapon, you're going to have this first initial resistance until those ball bearings, I guess, are pressed down, or exactly how that works. I don't know exactly how it works, but you're going to have a little bit more effort to charge the weapon, or if you're shooting the gun, it's going to have a little bit more time for the pressure to build and overcome those ball bearings, and then the action will cycle. That's this guy. That's the Maxim Defense. We've shot that guy before. It does work. It just... yeah, there's no way to show you this that I know of, but you get this initial just resistance. It will not go, and then it goes. Okay? So initial resistance, you got to overcome that pressure, and then it works, okay? With the other system that we have right here, this is the KynShot system. This looks like a little plunger thing that you'd have on a game and, you know, blow the bridge up or whatever. But this has, it's hydraulic, right? So this has some squishiness to it. And this is actually, which one is this? This is the PB 5004. That guy right there, probably can't even read that. Anyway, this is supposed to be for a 308 carbine length buffer, okay? Because a 308 or an AR-10 bulk carrier group, the carrier, is longer than a traditional AR-15, and so if you run a carbine length buffer on your AR-10, then it's not going to work right unless you have a shorty. You shorten the buffer. Well, these buffers that we are running, these are shorty buffers, not carbine length. These are shorty buffers for the HBPDW brace, or in this case, the stock, Q stock. And so these are a shorter buffer tube. So in order to make a standard 9mm or AR-15 carrier fit in one of these, you have to have a shorter buffer. Hopefully that all came out right. So this is not specifically designed for 9mm. It's designed for 308, but these 308 carbine buffers generally do work in these shorty buffer tubes. Wow, that was complicated. Super complicated. It works basically the opposite of the Maxim Defense, to where you have a normal charge where you pull the charging handle back, but then at the very end, you get a little bit of extra bufferage going on, right? So it's basically the opposite. You're not delaying the action of the firearm like you would with the Maxim. The Maxim delays the action trying to act like a roller delayed or a bearing delayed. That's why it's called bearing delayed. Whereas KynShot does not try to do that. KynShot operates normally. It's on the back end when at the final end of the cycle that you have that additional bufferage, like we said. So I'm just going to shoot these things. We're going to shoot them. I need to throw some suppressors on here because I don't like to wear ears. And we're just going to see if we can tell any difference. One way or the other, we're just going to try it. So let's go. Okay, that took extraordinarily too long. We have the R9 on the this guy right here. I like to call this affectionately the Space Toddler because it's not quite a Space Baby. It's not quite a Space Invader, and nothing on it is Noveski at all. So that's probably copyrighted, and I probably can't say that. But the Space Toddlers, from what I understand, that's not taken. This is a clone of the Space Invaders, so this is closer in size to that system. Anyway, that doesn't really matter. If you stack these guys up side by side, there's really not much difference. It's like a half-inch barrel difference. Like I said earlier, this longer looking one has a tri-lug added to the end of the barrel. Right, whereas this guy that looks shorter actually has a tri-lug built into the barrel, so it saves barrel length. It utilizes the barrel length instead of having to add on to it. Hopefully that makes sense. I don't think it's going to make any difference as far as recoil, but to keep things clear, this has the KynShot. The longer one has the KynShot. The shorter one has the Maxim defense. Let's start with Maxim. I know how that feelsies. And where'd my magazines go? Here they are. We're using, I think these are 115. Nothing special ammo. I don't even know who makes this stuff. It's the gold stuff. So we're going to have a golden shower. No, we're not. All right, Maxim defense. I believe these are 115s. They will be supersonic. Okay. Stays on target. It bounces around a little bit like you would think it would. Let's get some close-ups. Not getting gassed out. The R9 can be a little gassy, so this is not gassing me out, so that's actually kind of nice. There we go, held back. Yeah, not extremely pushy, not super jumpy, stays on target relatively well. That is the Maxim defense. Let's try the KynShot. Actually, my first time shooting the KynShot in this configuration. See how this guy rolls. And that dot up, good grief. There is a difference. There is a difference. Not getting gassed out either. There is a difference. That is interesting. Both of these are better, in my opinion, than your traditional just weighted buffer and spring. Sorry, the bugs are coming out. Both of these are definitely better than those. However, the KynShot, the way I like to describe it, it rolls at the end. The recoil impulse seems to be the same until the very end, where it just kind of rolls off and goes back, which makes a lot of sense. I noticed that on another setup that I have that utilizes not the same 3-weight buffer, right? But it's a different, I don't remember the nomenclature for it, but it's their heavyweight 9mm buffer. It does the exact same thing to where you feels normal. It's just a standard recoil that's coming off of the AR9, but at the end, instead of banging against your shoulder and punching, being real sharp, it's rounded, which makes sense because it's got that extra little hydraulic bufferage at the very end of the cycle. It absolutely works. The other system, the bearing delayed, it still reduces recoil. It will still reduce your felt recoil. But that special magic that they have is at the beginning of the cycle, the delaying of the action. You're still going to get that felt punch in the shoulder. It is still less than a standard blowback buffer system, right? With just a heavy buffer and then the spraying. It's still going to be less than that because you've already slowed down, I think, the cyclic rate and the weight of that whole bolt carrier and everything coming back at you. So even though it hits you, it comes into your shoulder and it just stops. It's already moving slower. I think that makes sense. That's how it feels. This is still sharp. It's still, I don't like the word sharp. It's still a little bit punchy, whereas the KynShot is rounded and smoothed out at the back. It just whoop, rounds off. Again, both of these do work. Both of these are a noticeable difference over a standard system, just depending on what you want. That's actually pretty cool. I'm gonna shoot these a little bit more, get a little bit more feelsies for it. That worked out better than I thought it would. Maybe not better than I thought it would. I was hoping it would work out, and that did work out. That's super cool. All right, I'm gonna shoot these just a little bit more and just get a little bit more feel for it. KynShot. Yeah. Nice. Maxim. Nice. You definitely feel a difference. They both work. It all just depends on what you're trying to get it to do. It's like accomplishing the same goal, but just going about a different means. If you like peanut butter, yeah, but do you like smooth or chunky? They're both peanut butter. They're both giving you protein, but do you like smooth or chunky? That's probably a terrible analogy, but I'm gonna stick with it. Anyway, what do you guys think? Have any of you guys used either one of these systems, whether it be the bearing delayed Maxim Defense, their system, or the KynShot menagerie of buffers that they've got? Because they've got them for for 308, for AR, for 9mm. They even have it for Glock, which would be really interesting to see how that works on a Glock. But they've got a whole cast of these things, right? Maxim, I'm not sure if they have these for, I do not think they have these for AR-15s, traditional like 5.56. And I think that is because this is a captured, the Maxim is a captured system. It's harder, I think, to use these captured style buffers on AR-15 bolt carrier groups. I think. I know that they make them, but yeah, I think it's harder. I don't know. I don't know the stuff about it. You guys let me know. Let me know where I'm wrong about all this stuff. And really, I'd love to hear back from you guys and know if you've used either one of these systems and how you like it, what's your feelsies about it. How do you describe how it works for you, or does it work for you? Were you sorely disappointed in either one of these products? I'd love to know about that. Anyway, that's it. Y'all be good to be safe. Let's go talk about it in the comments and catch you other guys in the next video. Let's go do it.